let's have a look at what we have here. Okay, so EpiSim is an interface for executing epidemic models. We have a set of them here. These are registered models that we use as the base. So we're going to select one, Spain Mitma. This defines a whole bunch of presets, which are really helpful for us, that we can see some of them here. Some of the other files that we get to edit the EpiSim config directly. So if we want to edit epidemic variables, certain factors here, we have a lot of parameters that can be modified. They need to be constrained in some way, and the editor here will help you to validate that your values align with this. So we pre-populated the dates here. We're going to do about a 4-month simulation. We are going to run it in the learning mode. So, not valid to run yet. We are missing some parameters. This is the base config for EpiSim, for a single EpiSim run. This is the learning mode tab. So we're gonna select an optimization strategy, which is this covariance matrix adaptation. We're gonna just load the example parameters here. This defines like a range in which we're allowed to explore each of the epidemic parameters. So these will correspond to values that are found in here. Beta A, beta A. All right, so we have everything looking pretty good right now. Let's see if we can submit and if the server will like what we have selected. Now that we have kicked off the experiment, we come into the loading page, and we're going to spin here for a little while, waiting until this experiment is ready. So we're going to come back in a minute when it is done. All right, now we managed to complete the experiment run, and we can see the results that we got. So kind of commonly happens. The first generation and the first individual simulation we ran actually gave us the worst calibration result with the parameters that we initialized. But after a little bit of running on the second generation, this simulation gave us a much better fit to what we wanted. And so we get our best case parameters out here, and we've just kicked off the reprocessing of the best simulation and bulk uploading that into our database so we can explore it on the dashboard. Let's come back again once that is all loaded up, and we'll see how we can explore this. Okay, now what we've done is after the experiment, we've taken these best params, we've run the simulation again, and we've loaded that all into our database so we can query it very nicely. So we can see that the simulation progressed with a single major peak, and then the cases fell off and collapsed down towards 0. Well, it was a pretty big peak, so we still had 900 new infections on this day, but that was nothing compared to our 35 million that we observed in the peak. So if we get rid of that, then we can see that at our peak we were experiencing more than 4 million hospitalizations in a single day. Now, if we want to drill down into some hotspots, let's see what we can do. Now, this is on the first week of our simulation, so this will really depend on what we defined for the initial conditions of the simulation as the seed values. But we can see that this zone outside of Madrid looks like it was a real hotspot right at the start. So let's select that and filter and see what it looked like compared to the rest. Now obviously we've gone down massively in the magnitude, and turn that off. but we see that we experienced the peak of infections much earlier than the rest of the country, which is interesting. And we can look directly here and see the comparison. We turn the filter off. We've got a comparison between the hospitalizations and the infections and the deaths. We turn the filter on. We can see how much of a subset that was of the global average. So these are just a couple of the things we can do with the dashboard. We'll be expanding it and trying to figure out some improvements. But yeah, that is the EpiSim experience. These are the list of runs that we've done in the past. If we go direct in, or we go into our experiment results, like so.